Hey, my name's Anthony Trucks. And if you are here right now, you got to have a chance to hop on and listen to me and Jared have a conversation at Zen Hustlers. Today, we talk about how to do the dark work to make shifts happen. Make sure you tune in now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Zen Hustlers Balance Podcast. I'm Jared Brake, the creator of the platform. I created this platform after I had my own personal journey in 2017. Overworked, over hustle. I bought into the 24/7, 365 full on. It broke a lot of my relationships. It broke a lot of my business, and I had to dig myself out. The way that I did that is by finding resources like books, podcasts, inspirational speakers, things that I could lean on, and speaking with experts that helped me out of that journey. And the way for me to pay it forward, you're looking at it here with Zen Hustlers. During COVID, we started interviewing people that we felt were really walking the talk, people that had gone through a personal journey in their lives and had a lot of resources and skills and experience to give back to pay it forward to the community. So today, I am super excited to invite you to meet one of my favorite people, a former NFL player. He's a coach. He's a consultant. He's written 2 books with a third on the way. And he's also a dedicated father and husband. So without further ado, welcome Anthony Trucks to the program.
Hey, how you doing, man?
We are great, man. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you today.
Today, it was Red Cup Day for Starbucks. My wife, she had pretty much kidnapped me to go sit at Starbucks for 30 minutes while I waited for a cup. But life-wise, I'm good, man. I speak all over the world, which is pretty awesome. I have 2 kids that are in the house. One is in college. I have a couple dogs, and I get to spend my days doing things I love. Yeah, so I'm all good, man.
That's awesome. And you came back into my world. You are you're getting to be kind of a big deal, man. You're on some big podcasts. I remember when I
Yeah,
saw you on Impact Theory, I was like, he has made it. This guy has
a little
made it,
bit
you know?
getting there.
And
Baby steps, man. Baby steps.
I listened to your Vishen Lakhani from Mind Valley the other day. It was great. So you are
Thank you.
really in it with the top people in the world right now.
Little by little, man, it's just a climb. I think you start. You know what I've told people, and this is I've found to be true. When you have an athlete, for example, and you've been killing it, and doing your thing in the weight room, and you're reading the playbook, then you go out and you win a Super Bowl. Like success isn't a surprise. Like you're not
You're not
surprised you
surprised that
made
it's
it. It's
working. Yeah.
yeah. So I say yes. I have a great deal of appreciation for what I've done, but it doesn't surprise me because behind the scenes, I do a ton of what I call dark work
Yeah.
that nobody's watching, no one's seeing. It's not sexy. My wife doesn't always support it. But
Okay.
it's the nature of it. So while yes, I've got there, it's I wouldn't say I expect it. I wouldn't even say I deserve it. It doesn't surprise me, and so I have a different weight with it. But yes, for the outside world looking, it's like, oh, this dude, he's arrived overnight. Where'd he come from? It's like
Oh,
12 years
everyone
of
thinks
work,
it's the
man.
overnight journey, right? Everyone thinks it's the
Yeah, dude.
overnight journey. When you hear your bio, Anthony, which thing sticks out to you the most? Which is the most proud of, other than being a dad? I'm going to take that one off the table professionally.
Yeah, take it off the table. I think being in an awesome marriage, I think that's well, my wife and I were high school sweethearts. We were divorced for 3 years, and I hated her guts to the extent of like I didn't want her to die, but I'm like, if you don't show up one day, like it's
It's
cool. Like if you
okay.
decide to drive off into the wind, but we're now remarried and incredibly happy. It's just it works, and so I'm most proud of that because from that, the rest of my life settles in properly. If that
Yeah,
if
it
that is out of
flows.
whack, I'm out of whack. So it's most definitely a thing that I would say I'm proud of outside of being a present father.
And professionally, what's your most favorite thing to do? Where do you get jazzed energy wise? Is it speaking,
Stage, man.
coaching, the stage?
Yeah, stage. The coaching is fun because I love to sit back and watch other people do their thing, and pretty much me be a guy that no one knows help them because I don't. There's some coaches that are like, hey, when you succeed, I got to let everybody know I did it. And I was like, I don't care about all that. I got my own thing going, and I do the
Yeah.
other side because I can. But no, I get jazzed when I get to go on a stage, and like we had just the last Saturday, 4 or 5 days ago, maybe. I had my last in-person live stage of 2023 and got
Okay.
my second standing ovation ever, like a genuine standing ovation. And it was like, yeah, man, I closed the year off right
I
in
don't doubt
2022.
it. I don't doubt
So
it.
those are good, man. I get to just let loose, be me. It's quite literally just a natural flow of whatever comes out, and so it's like that. It's that really amazing state of genuine flow and expression that just feels good as I give something out. It's being received well. It's a beautiful feeling.
It's fantastic. And so I remember when we first connected, you had just finished Trust the Hustle. Trust the Hustle was your main motto at the time. And
Yeah.
so tell us about that time period of Trust the Hustle.
Well, Trust Your Hustle was the originator, right? It was that first thing, and it was all about the idea of of a personal internal thing where I trust my ability to hustle when needed, right? There's the idea that all the things we go after is problems are going to happen. It's inevitable. Something's going to go wrong. And the reality is I know it's going to go wrong, but I have comfort because I bring me to the problems.
Mhm.
And so what you do to create that feeling is the most important part of how you live a life. Because you can't go towards something if you're afraid of succeeding at it because you always struggle or falter. So you'll stay backwards. You'll stay small because you don't want to go and fail and feel bad. But for me, I'm like, I'll take anything on because why not? I mean, I bring me to it. If I don't do well, like I still got me. And so that was where the trust your hustle kind of language came from. But then I was able to go deeper into it, into identity, which was really kind of the base of it anyways, like that sense of who you are.
Yeah.
And that became clear for the world of like, oh, that trust your hustle is really a root in identity. And so we started going identity and then realized there's even a deeper level of clarity because where most people go, okay, identity is sexy. Trust your hustle is, catchy.
Mhm.
Identity, you kind of get the concept, but everybody doesn't. No one wakes up today and goes, man, I want to make an identity shift. Like that's not what people get up and do.
So
Uh,
that takes us
the,
through your
the,
second book, Identity Shift.
yeah. And then now you're at a level where we got clearer on it. And I go, well, if no one wants that, what is the thing that resonates deeply with the people I speak to most? Which it's everybody who's ambitious, but it's usually like executives, entrepreneurs, or athletes, or who have been in some one of those roles at some point.
Yeah.
And what we all can attest to is there's this desire to shine in the light, right? If I'm on the field or on the court, I want to shine on the lights when it comes time, right? If I'm a executive, I want to shine on the newspaper in the boardroom, right? If I'm an entrepreneur, I want to have the moment on a stage we just talked about. That's a
Mhm.
shine. However, all of that comes from identity that you've created in the dark. So I call it
Mhm.
dark work. Really, it's that moment
You
we can
call it
all you
dark
can
work.
when I
Yeah.
you can sit back and I guarantee there's times, dude, even you, but everybody, when you sit
Oh,
back,
no,
you
no, no.
go,
I am fully in it.
yeah,
When I talk
deep.
about my journey, I am in it. It is not over. It is not completed. I think
No.
when it's done, I'm dead. I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
going to keep going until personal growth is done, until I'm done, until they put me in the
Yeah.
ground
The
or
world doesn't see most of it.
yeah,
Most of
no,
it's
they don't
done
see
by
it.
yourself
So
quietly. It's all
in
stuff in the
my
dark.
in my community, one of the things I did was join Mankind Project and sit with other men in community and working
Mm-hmm.
through. You talk about the shadow work, you're calling dark work. That part
Mm-hmm.
of yourself, your ego just never wants you to reveal. That ego is
Mm-hmm.
protecting the shit out of it because it does not want to be seen. The idea is that it's out there to protect you. It's actually out to hold
Mm-hmm.
you back. That's all it's doing. I feel like.
Well,
And
shadow work's different, I think.
yeah, yeah. Go
Because the
ahead.
shadow, because I agree, the shadow work stuff that I've done, right? Dark work's more of like, so think of it this way: if you want to shine in the light, you got to be powered. Like if it's a bright light, I got to be powered by something. I need that dark energy. I need that grit. I need that feeling of I've done too much work in the dark for you to take what's mine in the light. So
Yeah,
part of that dark work can be shadow work, but it could also
got it.
be healing work. It could also be writing. It could also be, shooting a basketball. It's the thing where you go behind the scenes and you develop this sense of confidence and pride. So when you step on the field, it's not like, I don't know if I'm ready. It's like, I don't know if you're ready.
Well, that's that athlete mentality. I think you're used to training and practice and that
Yeah, it
mentality.
is.
If I put in my 10,000 hours or whatever the number of hours it is, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes time to play the game, it'll just be there. I won't have to think about it. It's going to be a subconscious reaction.
To an extent, yeah.
Okay.
Small to an extent, but it's the same for all humanity and anything. Because if you think about it, it's like when you're going in the background developing the skill set, and we just talked about a guy before we get on that he comes on stage and he's creative all through it.
Yeah.
The only way he shines like that is because of all the stuff he did in the dark. And then what happens is, I think all of us have this. There's a conviction to compete at that moment. Now, for competition in sports, it's clear. In a boardroom, it's the deal, it's the brand, it's the financial growth.
Yeah.
If it's the guy who's stepping on the stage, we talked about being crazy. His competition is, can I create this and make this amazing as I did last time? Right? There is
Yeah.
that competition, but you have a deeper conviction if you did really hard dark work.
Interesting. So I'd love to have you write more about this dark work because I think people are going to get it confused with shadow work. And what I'm hearing is it's that deep work that's just so personal to you to get you to that next stage of your personal
No,
evolution.
no, not really. Because
Oh,
here's the thing: shadow work. If you think about it, this is the way I see it. Maybe I'm just dead wrong, but I hear shadow work. I go, I want you to peek into the shadows of what you've been hiding to find out why you are where you are, why you're stuck. I've done that when I actually got to the point of I was divorced. My kids were, I was didn't have a present father. My business wasn't doing very well. This was like me at 20, maybe I think it's like 31 or 32. that was a lot of shadow work. I had to look at and go, what are you doing, man? What is going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
But what that does, it reveals to you areas of opportunity, we'll call it, where you can improve yourself, where you can do. That is when you start going to the dark work. Because the shadow work is just saying, let me figure out what it is. Let me poke the holes and like, oh, this
Yeah.
is kind of making me feel uncomfortable. But the work you do past that, all dark work is, it's the work that no one sees you do in the light. That's it.
Got it. Got it.
So
Okay.
it's all it is, just the work nobody sees you doing. So if you're writing a book, here's the book, but nobody
Yeah.
saw you
Nobody saw
having to
all
find a
the
clear
hours and
space.
work and
Your
stress and all
wife's
that. Yeah.
bothering you, the kids are all over the place, and I got to get this thing, and I'm researching other stuff. That's the stuff no one saw, but it allows the book to be amazing and shine.
So I know that you, just by knowing you, I know that you had a really rough time growing up. It was
Mm.
not handed to you. Nothing was handed to you. Where did that hustle come from? Where did that drive and that passion and grit come from?
Ah, I think you develop it, but I think the first part is people have moments in time where they have a choice, and I had a moment just like everybody else does. I have a choice, and I go, okay, great. I'm in a place I don't like, going towards a place where if I extrapolate this, I don't want to end up. I have a
Mhm.
choice. Choice one is I can continue to keep blaming the situation to have validation for me playing small,
Yeah.
or I can go, you know what? I'm not a real big fan of the place that I'm at or where I'm going, and I need to actually do something different to get somewhere different. There's no guarantee you'll have success. That's the thing. And most people that people go, how'd you believe in yourself enough to keep, trained to play, to get a college scholarship, play in the NFL? I didn't believe in myself. Here's what I believed in. I believed that if I did nothing, I was going to a place I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
That was the purity of the belief. And so I was like, well, might as well do something. And part of that was having some clarity. Well, the things that other people do or have done to get where they're at that I want to go, if I do more of that, well, logically, maybe I'll get there. And so the grit was developed out of the dark work deposits. Here's the thing: the more that we look at humanity, we have like this investment bias, right?
Uh,
If I invest in something, I want to return, right? If I
yeah.
invest in
Yeah.
a stock, I want to return.
Or
If I
relationship.
invest
Yeah.
energy, right? Yeah. If I invest energy and time and sweat and tears, my return is a developed skill set and the brazenness to deploy that skill set. I got pride, I got confidence. I'm going to put it on the world. I got this confidence that I've been depositing. And so the grit is, I think, developed daily of, did I say I was going to do this? And I did it even when it was hard. And then I got it done and I go, oh, look at you. You dope, man. And you do it day after day after day. And then what happens is you enter a moment where you have an opportunity to put that on display, right?
Mm.
I'm on a football field. Well, I spent 7 months in one offseason killing my body. And it
Yeah.
was after I didn't believe I was a great athlete. I wasn't a great athlete. I was the foster kid. I had things take place in my childhood, but I started taking care of my body and working out, eating right. So when I got in that football field, I go, no, no, no. Me and you? Okay. Well, I lifted for the last 7 months and I cut 500 passes a day for 7 months and I ran routes for 7 months. You don't get to stop me from getting the return on my deposit. I'm
Nice.
taking this.
Yeah.
And that's where the grit comes to play. We think it's just you're born with it. I think it's developed through the actions.
Oh, it's definitely developed. Yeah. And the way that you've done it has always been inspiring to me that you keep pushing. So, are you someone that acknowledges himself? Have you learned how to do that? Have you learned how to just
The
say,
last
nice
couple of
work,
years.
yeah, you know?
Yeah, last couple of years, I do. I
Yeah.
mean, here's the thing: it's funny company upbringing that I did, because when your own mom goes, I don't want this kid. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the base is not there. And I think it took a lot of years for me to actually let people help me or to receive a thank you. I
Yeah.
wasn't really good at, like, people say thank you, I'm like, don't worry about it, no big deal. And now I go, thank you. I received that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That moment.
And it wasn't easy to do it because there's part of you that goes, I don't know how to do this. I've never done it before. Are you sure you should be getting this? And over time I get there, and now I'm in a household with competitive humans, whether it's my wife who's running track still at 38,
Nice.
collegiately actually. I
Wow.
got my kids that all do sports. Like, there's always this push, but my son's running track at the University of Oregon, and so I got all these people, and it's like I got to be like, no, I'm dope, and I let them know, like, I'm just, you guys know, I'm still the most accomplished athlete in the house. So you can say what you want, but until one of you takes me down, guys. So there is that, but it's not arrogance. It's more so acknowledging it, because when I hop on a stage or I go and coach somebody,
Yeah.
if I have that part of me that goes, I don't know if you're very good, Ann, or I'll never serve people at the level I really can. So
Yeah.
part of it is I got to almost with brazenness go out and say, no, I'm dope at this. Prove me wrong, world. And then
Yeah.
I go and do what I do to make sure I stay in that position.
Sponsored break. Let's face it, there's simply not enough professionally trained video creators out there to meet the immense demand in the market today. Since the pandemic, the need for online video has increased dramatically, and in the next few years, the internet will be dominated by video. So, who will make them all? Will there be enough trained video creators to fill this market need? Who will it be? Maybe it's you. Hi, I'm Jared Brick, a digital media and marketing thought leader, a video producer with over 2 decades of real world experience. I spent the last few years of the pandemic working with hundreds of people, both remotely and in person, to create videos so their business could grow during real limitations and honestly, tough times. What we learned was a hyper efficient way to create videos for professionals, easier to make, with better quality, and from anywhere. My passion is to share my love of video and creating effective media for businesses with the whole world. In the last few years, I've realized firsthand the immense need from companies, brands, and professionals. This desire for creating video internally and hiring externally. Now, some did have the budgets for bigger productions, and that's great for a select few out there. But honestly, most wanted to lean on a local professional and learn how to do it internally also. Most simply did not have the resources, the skills, or the know how as a process to create them in a modern and efficient way that look great. Also, in the modern workforce, many of us have become freelancers. We've shifted our work towards business models that offer us more freedom to earn and personal creativity. The world is different now, and the internet is on fire with video. So, my partners and I created an in person, not online, course to train this next generation of modern video creators. One ideal for people from all walks of life, working from home, parents, teachers, entrepreneurs, managers, and even leaders running businesses who need video today. Plus, we're out to offer people a new career path in both video production and a business model complete with a core set of skills and competencies to leverage anywhere they work in the world. So take a moment to review this. Click the button below to reach out to us with your interest in this hands on intensive training course. We're excited to meet the next generation of video creators and hear how you will be involved in the video revolution to come. Thanks for watching and hope to meet you soon. And then when you're up on stage, is there something driving you outside this force? Is there a bigger goal? Are you out to change people's lives in a certain area of their lives? Is it fitness? Is it professional work? Like what's
No
driving you
fitness.
to get to talk to people?
Yeah. I want to help people make shift happen, man. That's always my thing. It's if you remove the F, you get it. Because I think in my life, I've done it a lot. I've been on Good Morning America, written books. I've got to
Yeah.
do multiple TV shows and win money on this show with Rob Lowe and be an American Ninja Warrior and
Yeah. I saw that
speak on
too.
stages and all these things that are like heights of people's excitement. It's like that's cool. I'd love to do that. I go, yeah, I get to do that. And
Yeah.
so for me, it's like if I get to do that and it makes me feel good, why don't we just do more of this as much as we can?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's going to somebody's life and going, how can I help you make your thing happen, whatever your shift minus the F is?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: is it might be you just want to be a great husband or a great wife. It might be you want to be head of the PTA. You want to be the in politics and be your local treasurer for your town. I don't know,
Yeah.
but that's something that you got to work towards to create, to experience, to have that moment. And I want to help you create that moment. Typically, it's the realm that it's people that are executives, entrepreneurs, or athletes, which means they have a desire to win the game, to win the contract, or to have a winning business. And
Mhm.
that is not easy to do because here's the other part of it: is people sometimes can achieve it, but they will not sustain it if they haven't thought of who they're becoming along the journey. So that's why the dark work part of it is who are you going to become? Because if you make $1 million and you do it in a way that, I don't know, jeopardizes your marriage or your
Yeah.
health or your parenting, it's
Yeah.
a sucky $1 million. You got a lot of money and you just drink it or drug it away.
Yeah.
But if you did it the right way and you have all this great stuff, we get to create amazing experiences to deepen relationships and have amazing joy. So for me, I'm really big on, I love that statement. It goes, the first million or achievement, if you want to call it, is difficult, but the second is inevitable. It's because of who you've become and who you consistently stay to make that keep on happening. And so I look at it as like, I want to be a solid human. So when you make that shift happen, what shift did you make as a human?
Got it. And then, so when you are working with people, what do you think is the top three things that they're battling against? And I know you said the C word, consistency. I know for
Yeah.
me, that's challenging. I've got to get it on my calendar. If it doesn't get on my calendar, I end up not doing it. So,
Yeah.
other than consistency, what are the three things that people are really up against with that shift?
Ego and clarity. Ego, clarity, consistency. Ego's the first thing because when you've had any success or in the world we live in now, where you,
Yeah.
you have everything social media, we can create this persona that's not even real. The
Yeah.
biggest thing is letting people really see who you are and in that see the weaknesses. Most people are not open to having somebody say, you suck in this area and receiving it going, thank you, I can improve it. They go, oh, no, you're tripping. Oh, you're crazy. You don't support me. Like, no, man, maybe you do just communicate well. Maybe your videos do suck. Maybe you're a bad comedian, like that it's okay. Like if
Yeah.
your ego gets in the
Accept it.
way, then what happens is you'll never be successful because you'll never give yourself permission to improve. The other
Got
thing is going to be clarity. Clarity is this thing where our brains actually connect deeply to something we can viscerally experience, even if we haven't physically experienced it. If
it.
I
Okay.
put you in a Porsche right now, you'd feel the car, you'd smell the leather, you'll grip the steering wheel vibration. Then if I took you and put you in a room and said, hey, real quick, man, I want you to sit down. I want you to think about Jared sitting in this car, and I want you to grip the steering wheel and feel it. I can talk you through. Your brain will create it. Your brain will attach to it. Now, both those are experiences. And if I took you away and you go, man, I want to buy that Porsche, what happens is you'll start almost subconsciously creating a world in which you drive towards it because there's this
Yeah.
dialed decision. So for me, the clarity is big because people go, I want to make more money. I want to be happier. I want to lose some weight. And I look at it as you haven't given a specific that's like that Porsche. You kind of have given me we'll call it the city, but
Yeah.
not the address.
Not the
And if I
address.
don't get
Yeah.
the address,
I don't
I
know where
can't
to
get a
go.
specific, so
That's a
people start
brilliant
spinning their
analogy.
wheels, going
That's a brilliant
crazy. So that's how
analogy.
I
I
look
like
at
that
it.
analogy because I feel like we're in this culture of goals, goals, goals. And then it comes down to, okay, what are the habits? But what is the goal for? A lot of people are talking about, what's the feeling you're going to feel? Who are you going to be when you have that thing? Let's call it the porch
Mhm.
in this example. So, how do you get people to synthesize, oh, yeah, man, I want
Three
to make $1 million
steps.
bucks? What does it mean to make $1 million
Yeah.
bucks? What does that mean to you, dude?
So,
Why do you care
so,
about
so
that?
for yeah, and me, we have so we call it the vivid vision. I call it designing the dark. It's within our dark work experience we do, but what it actually is we sit down, we call it a vivid vision. It's all you do. We have 10 areas of life, and we
Uh-huh.
take each area and you go, okay, here's 3 steps to work it through. What is it? State the goal in a single sentence, not anything more than what it is. I want to make $1 million. Clear, clean. All
Yeah.
right, then we got to go to what does it look like. Now the visual is what does your life look like with this? You can't say I have a nice car. I got a pretty wife. I got happy kids. No, 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 no. $1 million is I wake up at 7 in the morning. I can smell the coffee inside of my house, and my kids. I hear them waking up, slowly getting around. I see my wife with brown hair and her beautiful robe I got her from Christmas.
Mhm.
We're in our kitchen that's bigger than the apartment that I had when I was in college. I'm talking specific what it looked like, and then you go, how do I feel? Because
Yeah.
that's the biggest. So it's now what is it? I got a picture in my head. I can see it now. How's it feel?
What's
I
that
feel
feeling and
warm.
resonating?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel love. I feel joy in my household. I feel a sense of peace and control. Like I get to do whatever it is I want to do today. Tell me what not to do. I feel as though my life is my own for that kind of flow. Now you have something unique that becomes for that area a vivid vision that I can now bring to life and I can tactically work towards. Without this, you're just going, I want to be 2023 is going to be amazing. I'm going to be so successful. What does that even look like? And so that's the first start for me.
I'll tell you a funny story about I do vision boards. One of our guests, Stephanie Stidle, is an art therapist, and she taught me how to do vision board. And 2 years
Nice.
ago, I did a vision board, and this summer, I was in that exact location of a photo on the
Mhm.
board. Didn't
Yeah,
didn't plan to be there, just meant to. I mean, I planned to be
that's
there.
how it works.
I didn't get on a random flight, but like it just manifested so hard for me. I could look at like half the things on that board. I was like, wow, that feeling, that look, that energy was there because I created it into the future. So for any folks that are new to visual visioning, I think the vision board. Do you do vision boards with folks? Do you get them down to that level?
I do not.
Okay.
I think the vision board is creative and it's cool and it's fun. I have something else I do to track, but I find that sometimes people, when they do that, they start getting all up in arms. And women do it; they love it. They love cutting things out of articles and everything. It's not my thing. You could do a digital vision board, totally cool with that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like to create things in flow and in real time. But I just have you think through it, write it down.
Got it. Got it. So journaling is a really important part of the process.
Yeah, it's a big piece of it. Yeah, and
Got
it's not so much it's journaling, but it's writing down the goal and then having it somewhere you can go visit again.
Got it. So you've got a new book. It's not out yet. It's in the works. Do you want to
Yeah,
share anything about the genesis of that book, the overall theme of that
yeah.
book? You don't have
Well,
to go
it's
into
the
a
same.
title or
It's
anything.
Yes, it's dark work. You know what it is. So the idea is I want people to understand deeply what dark work is, because you just said I kind of, is it like this? Like I don't
Yeah,
want that to
yeah.
happen. I want them to go, ooh,
Razor
got it.
clear.
That's what I,
Yeah, yeah,
because then what happens is you understand what you must do to get what you want. And so for me, it's a big piece. And then the other part of it is, well, how do I craft? What I alluded earlier to is a dark work experience. Because for me, when I look at that end destination of the thing you want most, the achievement, there's a certain way you're wired that gets that. Some people, you can give them anything and they just find a way to succeed. We go, how do they just have the Midas touch? They touch everything, it's gold. And I go, no, it's not accidental. They're wired a certain way. You don't see
yeah.
it. It just happens in the flow, right? In the dark of what they're doing.
Mhm.
And so what I go is, well, they go, well, how do they get wired that way? Oh, well, how is anybody wired a certain way neurologically, right? They're
Yeah,
just experiences happen in life. Something goes crazy. I learn this thing. I'm enamored by this idea. I got this goal, so I push towards it. And in it, I have the failures. I get the no's. I get the yeses. I get the girl. I get the guy. I lose the business. I lose the job. And so your experiences create a way you do things. And so the problem is, for most of us, it happened just, man, when crap hits the fan.
yeah.
Just, but I like to do it on demand, not when crap hits the fan. So I go, let's actually architect and curate specifically a dark work experience that wires you to be able to become that person and achieve that thing in the process. And so when someone goes, "Ooh, yeah, I want that $1 million, I want that house," cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you how to get it, but at the same time, how to wire yourself properly to where you always get it ongoing. So the dark work experience is what we'll be teaching in that book as well. So it's not just the dark work, but what is the experience and why it's important. So someone can close the book and go, "Cool, I know what to do to get anything I want out of life right now."
Got it. I'm excited for that book, man, because like I said, you are going to add some razor clarity to that. Now, when we're talking about, going into, you have a background in fitness and and athleticism and sports. Do you feel like people need to get to that level in part of your programs? Is that because that's going to bring endorphins, that's going to bring energy, that's going to bring
It
vitality.
does. Yeah.
So I feel like, do you always try to, do you meet an executive and you're like, you could probably get in better shape, we'd feel better, and then we would move faster. So do you feel like athleticism and exercise is always part of it?
Yeah, I mean there is a part of it. So one of the areas we uncover always going to be a health aspect. But
Yeah,
the thing is, I don't need people to look at it like I got to be a pro athlete type level.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's it's different for everybody. Somebody's in better shape could be they go for a walk, run their block once a day. Somebody else's
Okay.
better shape could be they do an extra marathon. It's
Yeah,
totally up to whatever somebody's doing. But there does need to be some increase, because there is a very intimate connection between a physical hard and a psychological confidence for
yeah.
anything. I can take this psychological confidence from a physical hard and apply that to a sales conversation, apply it to the way I show up for my kids and their project for science fair, whatever it is. I got this sense of like, oh, I'm dope. Right,
Yeah, yeah.
I got an extra 5 minutes on a treadmill without puking. Right, I increased my back squat. Oh, I'm dope. And then you walk
Yeah.
into the rest of your life with a different sense of flow. So there is a need to have that, but it's not a heavy emphasis because I did the fitness stuff at all. It's just there's something there that I do allude to. It's why one of the key areas is health of the 10 we focus on.
Got it. Got it. And so we're wrapping up now. So what's one thing to help people break down that barrier to get them started? What's that chip in the iceberg that's going to crack them into getting started? Because often it's
Mm-hmm.
that first friggin' step, man. It's that first slam into the
Yeah.
ice of like,
Mm-hmm.
how do I chip away at this?
My opinion, it has to be just get fed up with the situation. I don't think we need, I think most people go, I got to have this catalyst moment where all of a sudden the sky opens up and a cow comes down with, purple udders. Like there's just some weird moment
Yeah,
that's like,
yeah,
that's what woke me up. And I go, no, you just got to wake up one day and go, I'm cool. I'm done with this. I want something else. If
yeah.
you can have that day, then you're going to be good. Cause it needs to be some, for me, it was, I woke up one day, looked in the mirror, January 1st, 2016. I go, oh, I don't like this dude, man. Don't like this
2016.
guy. 2016, I was like, I don't like this dude at
Wow.
all. Like he just not had a lot of life of success and ups and downs
Yeah,
prior to that, but the one
yeah,
that's really spun me up to here, it was that. And I was like, damn, like this guy, I'm not a fan of how he's functioning in life. Somehow I'm getting by. I was still doing, getting sales contracts, kind of speaking in the world, but I hadn't really anchored down to be of value the way I am now. But that was it. It was just a day I woke up and go, I don't like this dude. And that was it. We don't have to have that moment where we're all looking for this humongous thing to take place so you can explain to your friends. You
yeah.
just got to wake up and go, enough's enough, and then
What was the
that
first, do you
should be the
remember what the
break.
first action you took after that was? What was
Yeah, I
that
cut
first thing
off
you
all
did?
women.
Ooh,
That was it.
interesting.
Hey, I was talking to a lot of ladies, man. I was like, I'm done with all these ladies. Just, I was like, I'm gonna hang out in my lotion for a few months, and that was it.
Got it. Got it. And so, what do you want people to do with your work? Like, do you want them to follow your podcast? You have the podcast, you have Off Shift Podcast, you got two books out in the world, you've got a great website, anthonytrucks.com. So, what's the best way for people to get to know you and get engaged with you?
Just go to Anthony Trucks on Instagram. Simplest way.
Got it.
I mean, it's where I go because I think there you get to see who I am, what I'm uncovering, what I'm doing. I don't know when this will actually come out. We're actually going to be starting a second Instagram that the purpose is purely dark work. It's called Dark Work AT, and that's going to be. Imagine the former NFL linebacker coming to life. That's who it is. Like that's because there's a part of me that I don't tap into. I'm a joyous dude. I hang out.
Yeah,
I'm
you
happy all the
are.
time, right? But
Yeah.
there's this guy that, he existed for a lot of my life and he hasn't really disappeared because when my dog pisses all over my barbecue, that guy comes out. He's like, you know, but there's also a grittier guy that comes when I coach athletes and I understand what I'm trying to have them do, not because they have to win the game, they have to
Yeah.
win life. And so this is just, moments. So I go, I'm gonna create some spot where people get to see the dark mentality, that's the dark energy that allows you to shine. Because if you look at the Kobe's, the Jordans, the Tiger Woods of the world, and the Serena Williams, when they're on those courts, they're not out there like in a tough moment going, "You got this, come on." No, they
Oh,
hunker down. They go, "Hey, let's get to work." Like there's this different sense of a grit
yeah.
that they tap into. That's that dark energy, but that dark energy is done through dark work. It's the only place you get that, and that's what's
Yeah.
necessary in moments when you have to compete. So I'm going to bring that guy to that realm of social media.
I love that, man. Yeah. Let me know when that channel goes. We'll definitely feature it on the
It'll
way.
be by the
So,
end of the year. We have a meeting at 1 o'clock today with the team to
oh,
determine
oh,
exact
good. This
dates
is
of stuff.
happening.
But
So,
yeah, it's no
fellow
guesswork. We work.
fellow Bay Area, and I hope I get to see you in person today. Always enlightening. I feel like I got a mini coaching session today, and I hope the listeners will too. So, anything you want to leave? Any last 2 cents you want to leave folks with?
Hey man, do the dark work so you can make shift happen. That's it.
There you go. Anthony, always amazing. Thank you for being on today, man. I know you're a busy guy, and I
Thank you for
really
having me.
appreciate your time.
Hey, very welcome, man.
So, for all you listeners out there, please go to anthonytrucks.com. Go check out Anthony Trucks on Instagram. Watch his YouTubes, get his books. The guy is super inspirational. We don't let anybody on this podcast that we don't feel like is really walking the talk. You, my friend, are running, lifting, and doing all the talk. So, thank you so much for being on today. And as a reminder, Zen Hustlers is a free resource website. Please check it out. We've got podcasts, we've got books. We're starting to have some supportive products, physical products, products you put inside your body to make you feel better. And let us know how we can support you. You are not alone out there. You are not the first one to go through what you're sharing. And so just remember, you've got support and we're here for you. Take care, all. Thank you.
Hey, my name's Anthony Trucks. And if you are here right now, you got to have a chance to hop on and listen to me and Jared have a conversation at Zen Hustlers. Today, we talk about how to do the dark work to make shift happen. Make sure you tune in now.